There we go. I forgot to hit that. So back into Remine, I'm going to show to the people that missed it. Go to HAR, log in as your member portal, go to the dashboard. That's not where I want to go. Go to your members only portal. You get to the tools section, third-party tools, Remine. That'll bring you up to right here. So what I want to show you, like if I was marketing to this area in the Kingwood area, there's 15,000 homes. So let's think about this for a minute. If I was going to do a marketing campaign for Kingwood, that'd be 15,000 mailers, right? So that's pretty high intense to send out 15,000 mailers to those people. So maybe I want to look at something, and I want this right here, this thing called sales score. Y'all see that? So what this does, they grade all those properties that I have in there. And Remine claims to have a 70 to 75% accuracy rating on telling you what their score is. They used to have.
That's me. I'm sorry.
This mute you.
Yeah.
There we go.
I just joined in so I could see what he's doing.
So when these high, medium, and low scores, they used to have a time frame on them, and I remember they're so old. I've been doing this for so long. I remember what they were, but they claim to have a 70 to 75% accuracy rating. And I don't know about y'all, but if I can knock off, a lot of the people who may not be wanting to move from me marketing to them, that might be well. So what they say, medium is up to 2 years. To up to 24 months, and high is within 12 months. So when you're diving into this stuff and you're looking at what's going on, if I were to come here and put medium and high, that would give me who does Remine think's going to be moving in the next 24 months, right? So I'm going to go from 15,000. Let's see who out of those 15,000 who might be moving in the next 2 years. So they're claiming that 1,590 people are going to be moving in the next 2 years. There. So that's a lot of people, right? So maybe if I want to narrow that down even more, maybe I start. I want to come over here and look at some different stuff. So this absentee owner is a great way to start narrowing this field, because y'all know what an absentee owner is. That's typically a rental or a second home, right? So if I want to come in here, and most of these are going to be rental, I'm going to do absentee out of state, absentee in state. I never click corporate because for me, corporate owned is like if I own a house and I put it into my LLC's name, that means it's a corporate owned house. So I just have learned over the years not to do that. So I'm going to look at absentee owners out of that 1,500. I'm just trying to narrow down that field, right? So I'm going to come in here. So out of that 15,000, I'm down to 130 people that are probably going to move in the next 2 years that are absentee owners. So those, for me, that tells me a couple of things. So if I wanted to send out postcards to those 130 people, or if I wanted to call those 130 people, Remine allows you to do that. There's a couple different ways we can come in and do this. So if I wanted to save that result right there, I would come here and I'd hit save search, so I could always come back to that. But I'm going to show you how I would maybe start a marketing campaign to absentee owners that are probably going to sell in the next 2 years. So if I'm there, I'm going to say select all. So 130 properties are there. And I want to go status, and I want to say off market. Where do I put off market? I don't want any houses that are on there. I'm going to do residential sale. I'm going to add some filters in there so I can off market. So I'm going to put off market. I don't want anything that's in there. So look at that. I've gone from 130 down to 48 houses. So do y'all see where I could actually come in and really have a very serious marketing campaign for all of Kingwood? I could afford to send 48 postcards twice a month, right? To very serious people. And how that works, I would come right here and select all. So I've selected all 48 of those properties. And I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna save it to the cart. And I'm gonna say here, I'm gonna type in Kingwood ab owner medium, learn to type, medium, high. Okay, so I kind of can look at that, and then I'm going to add all 48 to those to that cart. So if I wanted to start a campaign, what I'm trying to show you is that how quick and simple this is. So I've got that down to here. So I can go to cart over here. And Kingwood, absentee owner, medium to high score. So I could come right here and click all 48 of those and say send mailer. And I'm going to go Kingwood, medium, high, absentee owner, build mailing campaign. Watch how simple this is. And I haven't found, if y'all know of a cheaper one than what this is going to come up to be, please tell me. I've never found anything cheaper. So if I want to send postcards from $37 to 48 people, including postage and postcard. See how cheap that is? $37. So I'm going to choose the design. And I'm going to stay with that 4x6. Absentee owner, they already have this here. And I'm going to tell you guys, I see a lot of people waste a lot of time trying to redo something to make it what they think it should be. Use what's there and get it out. It doesn't matter what you send as long as you're sending something, right? So just use what comes up, and you can customize it a little bit, but just get it going. And it doesn't matter what you send as long as you blow your mind how easy this comes up. It's probably taking a little bit longer because I'm using all my video resources. I'm not really paying much attention to the chats. Let me see. Chat. $48 for 100 postcards. And who is that through, Adam?
Stamps and everything.
Yes, it's through First American Title.
That's for postage and everything?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So, but it has their advertising on with you too. So look at unwanted tenants. Look at how they've already kind of created these designs. Having trouble meeting property taxes, tired of owning a property, feeling trapped. You know, they already have all these in there. And I'm going to say, let's start with the pain, right? Let's unwanted tenants, vacant property, tax issues. I'm going to personalize this. I'll pick a color. Let's do red and blue. It could be blue. Let's do blue and gray. I'm going to switch to blue and gray.
Yeah, because ring max is always red and blue.
So, you know, and again, I'm gonna tell you, it doesn't matter what it looks like. Just get something in the mail, get it going. You could customize it here, add all the stuff in here, add my website if I want. You know, so and put that in there, refresh, and you'll see that pop up. If you leave something blank, nothing shows up there like over here. So now you'll see one of my websites there. I get to choose a pictures. I can change those pictures if I want. You can make it anything you want, but does it really matter what changes? And same thing on the back of the card. You know, my logo's already there. It's going to show up there in a second. I can change all this stuff. 301 West Park Wood Avenue. Oops, 7. So disclosures, you know, and all of that's already there. So that's the label I'm going to do. I'm going to hit next, and I can add new addresses. I always recommend that you add your own mailing address in there. That way there, when you add in the your address, you'll know when it goes out. You'll see what it looks like. And so there's 48 houses in there that I'm going to send a mailer to. Hang tight. They're going to verify all the stuff. So that was $37 for 48 cards. And I'm going to typically, when I start a campaign, when I first got started in this business, I joined a company called HAR. Have y'all ever heard of a company? They're no longer in business. But HAR did this test in San Diego, California. They went into a neighborhood of about 2,000 homes, and they went and surveyed or canvassed those 2,000 homes, and they came up with a list of realtors asking the people, hey, do you know of a realtor that covers this area, or do you have a realtor that you would recommend? And they didn't come up with anybody that was taking dominance in that survey. And then they started a mailing campaign, which I'm going to show you how I recommend that you start this mailing campaign, an advertising campaign. They went in for about 90 days and started a campaign of advertising one particular fictitious realtor. And after the 90 days, they went back and surveyed those 2,000 homes, and the fictitious realtor took over about an 80% market share of what people thought who was the dominant realtor in the area. So would that be worth your time? I'd say absolutely would be worth your time, right? That is a way to go in and get what's called mindset domination on what's going on in a particular area. So how to do that is, and it's the way that a lot of different brokerages talk about doing something. But what you do, you go in for 4 to 6 weeks, and you put a postcard in the mail to them every 4 to 6 weeks. To like this neighborhood or these 48 homes, I would send a postcard to them or some sort of advertisement with my name on it for every week for 4 to 6 weeks straight. Then you come back in and you start sending a postcard once a month for the next 12 months. And when you do that, you take over people's mind of who that is. And that's why I tell people when you're advertising and marketing, it has to be consistent. It doesn't really matter what the message is. It just has to be consistent and frequent. And by doing that, you really gain that mindset to people that you're going to. When I first got into the business, one of my mentors taught me something about just listed and just sold cards. And, most realtors send just listed and just sold cards to the people that around the house they just sold. What my mentor told me was, and taught me, and how I still recommend people do it today, is come up with a list of your fabulous 50, your fabulous 100, and every time you get a just listed or a just sold card, you send them the card, because it's called marketing on purpose. And just think about that. Every time you get a new listing or a just sold, you send those fabulous 50 a just listed or just sold card. They're going to think you're busy, right? They're going to jump all over that, and you're going to be in contact with that fabulous 50 all the time. So that's just a different way of looking at that and really proving how you're doing your business. All right. So if I'm coming through here and looking at this, it's 78 cents a postcard, schedule multiple details, send one list. So design is approved. I can see what the proof would look like here. Unwanted tenants. It's, how everything would look on it, what it would go to. I could do all of that. But what I'm going to tell you to do, I'm going to come here. I'm going to set this up for weekly mailings. And, the cost is going to climb because that's what that is. Additional mailings. I'm gonna do 6 additional mailings every week. And then I'm going to come back once this gets set here. I'm going to create another whole campaign with the same postcard and set it up to have a monthly mailing and to start on a specific date. So you're going to have 2 campaigns, in my opinion, how you ought to use this, whether you're using Remine or using a title company, doesn't matter. The campaign's the campaign, how it ought to start. So this right there for doing 6 weeks would cost me $255. And what I like about how they do this is that Remine bills you on a weekly basis, or every time this goes out, they'll bill you for that. They don't bill you up front for the whole thing. So that's one way to really go in and do this. Y'all have questions or comments or anything that y'all would like to talk about how I would suggest that you start a campaign? All right. So that's how easy that is to create a postcard campaign. And what's really cool about this is that when I come in, I can export this too. What's really cool, if I wanted to put all these people in my KV core, sample KV core, Kingwood. Export, select columns. I'm gonna include all columns. I want everything in there. I can come here, export this. They'll download this to a CSV file for me, then I can upload this into KV Core. So what's really cool about this, let's go find, here's a nice 4-bedroom house that I want to go to. There's the house, and I could come here, owners and people, unavailable. I picked one that has unavailable, but I'm going to say probably about 60% of the people have public information available. So I would just come and look at this. Y'all see the Excel spreadsheet? Okay, so everything is on there. I mean, everything you can think about is in there. You can go back and find all the information about this, but I mean, there's the owner's name, you know, what their home address is, what their mailing address is, all the different information, if they have phone numbers and stuff, and you can clean this up and match it to your KV Core upload, or you can just, you know, clean this up and send it what you want. So when you come in, you get to make that determination of what that's all about. So when you're looking in this, one of the things, I'm gonna go back to what this part was and looking at what all this stuff is. The address is in there, all of the columns there. I can manage the columns, what I want, what I don't want. You can make this to be whatever you want, you know, kind of depending on what you're wanting to do with it and how you want to do that. You can create more carts. You know, you see all these different things that I've kind of created, teaching people how to use this. But what's really cool about this is if I go pick a property that I found, and well, that's an HDR photo, huh? Mm-hmm. That's kind of weird looking, but it is some good stuff. So when I'm looking at this, it shows who the last listing was, who it was sold by. So if you want to call Hannah and talk to her about what this property was back when it sold, and all the stuff is there. It's always good information. It looked like this was a rental property, and we know that because we searched for all this stuff. But when we come in here and look at the value and look at the equity, they must own this house outright, because the value and the equity are the same. So there's no note on it. That's kind of a cool thing. And when you're looking through this, like, you don't get all this information on HAR.com. No occupants that listed in the house, ownership, no, but it is an absentee owner. Mailing address. So this is where the owner lives. So if you're mailing stuff to the owner instead of the property, that's how that's determined. That's always a great thing. And if you're looking for people, you know, I'm going to tell you, go stalk them on Facebook. You can always, there's different programs out there to help find people's names, but just a handwritten note. Hey, you know, if you don't want to do the postcards, you can do a handwritten postcard note to the owner here. And to Karen and Wayne, hey, I noticed you had a house at 3242 Three Pines in Kingwood. Would you be interested in selling your house? Think about that. How much, just by sending a note. I noticed that it's a rental, and I have people looking for homes in your area. You know, send them a handwritten note. That's how powerful is that? When you're able to come in and find all this information that I just did, because we know exactly that this property is vacant. We know that it's those pictures are very weird looking to me, but they've all been photoshopped, to say the least. But it allows you to come in and see all that stuff that most people don't take the time to go find. So, well, I guess what I'm trying to tell you is there's so many different ways from within Remine to really come in and do this. Yesterday, I was with Jen. We were sitting here talking with a client, talking about how to find properties of maybe investment properties, and going in and how to do that. So what I want to show you is kind of an area how we did that yesterday with Jen's client. We came in and did a search of properties. I'm going to clear all of these filters to kind of show you again. I'm gonna come here and I'm going to pick a big area. a big area, because I'm trying to show y'all something here. So there's 25,000 homes in that area. So if I'm looking for something, a sales score maybe of who's going to move in the next 12 months, that 25,000 goes down to 1,200. That's pretty cool. So I can do that. But what's really cool here is if I'm looking for a different way to market to stuff, I'm going to come down here and click on distress sales. I want to see who's getting foreclosed on. This is how my team, back when I was selling real estate and we were closing, 200 homes a year, this is how we found all of our homes. This list didn't exist back then in 8, 9, 10, and 11. So we had to go to the county records and a lot of different ways. But if you look in there, there's 39 homes that are about to get foreclosed on, that have notice of defaults on them. So if you're looking for investment properties, think about this. So, and I want to go add a filter off market. I don't want to see anything that's on the market. So only off market. So that 48's turned to 38. So there's 38 homes in the greater Kingwood area that have notice of defaults. So what do I do? How do I approach this? So if you're working with an investor, let's and let's come in here and let's take this house right here on June grass. I don't know anything about Kingwood. I've never sold up there. So this house is a 2-story house. It looks like single family, $158,000 of equity. So he's been in the house for 17 years. Wow. So what I can probably tell you, so let's, I'm going to come and I want to look at this and really look at what this guy's, he's a VA, he's about to get foreclosed on. That's not good. Assessed value, market value. Notice of default is right there. Last time it sold was 2017. So all this stuff is there, transaction. I'm looking for data where I can come in here and see what's going on. So Universal American Mortgage got a 4.02% refi loan, second deed of trust. So, that's crazy looking at this. So the house is valued at 464 ballpark, right? So if I'm doing a couple different things, I'm going to come in and I'm going to try to talk to. I would probably reach out to. He's on the do not call list, but there is a phone number there. So me, if I have an investor that's looking for properties, and what we used to do is something called cash for keys. This is still a very viable business plan to go do this. If you have investors that have cash, you can go to this guy and go, hey, Mr. Strange, you could go knock on the door. You could send a letter. Hey, I know your house is about to get maybe foreclosed on, and I have a way that I can help you out of that. I'd be willing to write you a check today for, let's say, $10,000, and come back and how I would do that, how I approach it. If I had $10,000, I'd probably come and say, hey, Mr. Strange, I could write you a check today for $5,000, and we're going to do a quick claim deed on your house. We're going to become the owners of the house, and then I'm going to come back in 30 days. And if the house is move-in ready, I'll write you another check for another $5,000. And so that'd be $10,000 you could get into this house for. And if you go back and look at this house, I wish I would have saved that. What street was that on? I'm going to go, hold on, let me go back to this. June Grass, here we go. So, looking at this, he has $158,000 of equity. He has a loan balance of $320 on that house. So if he's about to lose $158,000, so do you think he would rather have a check for 10 grand and maybe walk away and save his credit where he can come back eventually? Because if you have a VA foreclosure, you're done for 10 years with the VA. You can't get another loan for 10 years of VA or FHA. And if it's just a Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae loan, I think you're 3 to 5 years before you can get a new one. So if I stop the foreclosure, I buy this house from him, write him a check. I could turn around and come and put some lipstick on this house and turn around and put it up for rent because it's showing, look at valuations here. Rental is $2,900 a month for that house. So I could turn around and put a rental in that and have positive cash flow on this. And then I can go, once I do the quick claim deed, I can call Universal American Mortgage Company and say, hey, I just bought this house from Mr. and Mrs. Strange, and I'd like to make a deal with you on this house. Since I'm now the owner, I'd like to offer you, I know that he owes what was the house he owed? He owes $320,000 on this house. I'd be willing to take a loan out on this house and refinance the 320 in my name. Or if you're willing, I'd be willing to just take over his notes and continue making that payment. So there's several different ways you can approach this. Typically, if you have an accredited investor, you could come in and say, hey, mortgage company, I'll write you a check for $300,000 today, and you could be the owner of that house. And you could get in that house and have all that equity because you turn around and sell it for $478, or you could rent it. You stand to make a bunch of money, right? Really quick. So when you're looking at different stuff like this, there's so many different ways to lead generate from this in going in. One of the things I love about Remine again is the flood. Do y'all ever look at the flood risk? Is that a big factor for you? Looking at the flood risk. Look at here. This is low to medium flood risk, and it shows what it is. So it's in a 500-year floodplain, but look right over there. If I were to go look at some houses right over here on June Grace or June Fern, there's a red high 100-year floodplain right over there. And, so this'll, so the floodplain comes in right over here. Isn't that funny? And flood risk, I wish that doesn't allow you to move it. But if you were to come in and go back to the search and take off that distressed, I thought there was a sales score absentee flood risk. This, if I want to see what the flood risk. So this will show you all the flood risk as we zoom in here. So, isn't that a cool way to use Remine as well, to come in and see which properties are in the 100-year floodplain versus the 500-year? that's sometimes a telltale sign. You know, I sold some property. I'm gonna go see if I can't zoom in and show you something that was. I mean, right next door, the house right next door to the old house that I sold. There's the Beltway, 610, TC Gesture, Ella, Pinemont. I think it was on this road right here. So the house, I think it was this house right here, was not in the flood zone, but part of the property was. But this house had to have flood, because look at where the flood zone covers the corner of the house. So these houses here didn't require to have flood insurance, but all these houses over here did. So isn't that, if it touches any part of the structure of the house, you have to have flood insurance. And I think this is the house that we sold. And we fought with the mortgage company and said, well, it comes onto the property, but none of the house. We got an elevation certificate, and we finally proved to the mortgage company we didn't have to have flood insurance because the elevation of the slab was above the 500-year floodplain. And knowing those things going in when you're looking for properties is a key thing to help you understand the dynamics of what's going on. And I go back to what I tell people every day: the person with the most knowledge wins. If you're going in and able to fight with your clients about, you know, what's, you know, I kind of tell my clients the good, the bad, and the ugly. If a house is ever flooded, my opinion is we don't want to look at it.
We what?
I try to advise my clients never to look at a flooded house, because if it's flooded once, the probability that it may flood again. Well, good luck. How do y'all feel about that? Anybody have thoughts about selling a flooded house to the clients?
Well,
You agree, Adam? Because think about all the houses that have never flooded that are out there.
I'm the same way, Danny. I've lived in Houston most of my life, and that's exactly correct. If it's flooded once, it's probably going to flood again. I moved my mom out of a house that flooded 4 times. Got tired of fixing it.
Yeah. So Rachel, the answer, I just looked at the chat. The answer is yes. You can mail it. So I like to mail it to both. The property address and the owner's address. That way there you get the tenants captured in that as well. So, yeah, so when you mail stuff, you can click on that box. If you go back and look at that card again, I'm going to just open that up and go here and send mailers. When you click on that, I'm going to do test 4. And there's a way to click to say, postcards. I'm going to do absentee owner again. So I just heard the other day that Remine's going to open this up a little bit more right now, to be able to go right to your mailers that you already have instead of going through this. But they have all that in there. But I'm going to show you real quick. And test that one. Add yourself in there. They're verifying all the addresses. This is where it's going to come back and you get to pick if it's the owner. If you want to send it the property address or the owner address, and this is where you would make that choice. So answer your question, Rachel, is yes. You get to choose the two different ones. You get to, and you can pick both if you want. Yes, and Rachel, let me go, and I'm gonna back out of that. I'm just looking at all the chats. I have them on a different screen. I'm gonna come, and let's say if I want to send mailers again to that same thing, and I'm gonna come here and test % build mailing campaign. You can get, this is what's really cool about Remine. And I want to send letters, yellow letters, snap aparts. I want to send a letter. You get to choose a design. You know, all these different stuff is in there, and you get to write the letter. But you know, it could be the same letter to all 130 people. It doesn't matter. But you get, but it's still so inexpensive to do that. And however you want to personalize it, you get to do that. And you know, here's owner's address or property address. You see the difference? You get to pick that. Again, let's pick red and blue, and I'm going to pick owner's address, homeowner's name, or current resident. I'm going to the homeowner's name. Next. And again, you get to put all your stuff. Once you save it once in there, your logo will always be there. Your picture will always be there. All your stuff will always be there. And then you get to add or, you know, write whatever you want in here. So again, I'm gonna go back to what I've told y'all in the past. Just send it. You know, if you want to come up with a letter of your own or edit some of what this says, be cautious about spending too much time doing that. Just get something going. You know, like I tell everyone all the time, in real estate, it's fire, ready, aim. And just keep on firing. And, you know, and how you're going to aim is when you go back and you've already kind of aimed at the 48 distressed properties, right? You've already determined who that is. So just pull the trigger and send it. You know, this is a very bland, true letter, but it goes in. How many people are sending letters like that to people? Not many. And you could, you know, it'll have your picture here, your logo here. It'll have all that information there. Just send the letter. Why not? Why wouldn't you do that? And you know, send it to those 48 people. What's that going to cost to do that? Again, add your name to that, because you always want to see. So it's just a way of lead generating and using Remine for several different reasons. And when you're trying to do a price evaluation on a piece of property, unless you need a full-blown CMA, why would you use anything else, in my opinion? It's quick, it's simple, it's easy. It gives you an idea of what the price is. Is it exact? No, but is your CMA exact? I'm going to say no, it's not. It's not always exact. I don't care. You know, I tell everybody that's been through my CMA class, I can make a CMA be really high or really low, right? So I'm going to see what this would cost if we did this. Proof. So to send out 48 letters, there's 47. One of them wasn't valid. The letter written, postage, and everything is $44.18. So I don't know about y'all, but I like the easy button. I like something I can just go in and get done. I'm all about just systematizing everything I can get done. And especially setting this up, you know, I might go for that. If I'm going to do a letter campaign, I might go build 5 or 6 different letter campaigns and send those out every week, but have a different color and maybe write something six different ways to go out and just to have that letter. Maybe I instead of 1 week doing a letter, maybe I do a postcard. You know, so maybe I come back in here and let's build another. I'm going to close all this out. And come in and if I come in and look and I send that mailer, all 48 again, send mailer, and I want to show you there's so many different ways to go through and doing this. Maybe here I'm going to do a yellow letter, you know, send it on yellow paper. It's same thing, just a different look, right? So there's all these different ways to come in and do this stuff. And there's just so much opportunities for you to lead generate through Remine. I don't know of another way that you can come in and do this quickly, efficiently, or anything else. Rachel, you said that you use First American or whoever. What's your process of getting that done? Can you tell me what time you spend doing that, and does this compare to what you're doing price wise? Does it? I'm always looking for the easiest way.
That was me.
Okay.
They do have some designs. I already have my list saved, just kind of like what you did on Remine. I did it through them a couple of months back. So
okay.
I just send it every month. They have their own designs, not as many as I see here on Remine, but I can also bring my own to them for $2 more.
And it costs, including postage and postcard. So you generate so you can literally go to Remine and create that list and take it to them as well, right?
Right.
So isn't that a smart way to do this? So I know I can talk about this all day long, but one of the things I want to show you guys, is there a minimum number of letters to send? No, you can send one. Yeah.
So if I send it to myself and leave the owner blank and the signature blank and then fill it in and write the address myself, is there a way to get the list of the addresses? So
yeah, you can export those. If you go back to your cart right here, you can export this and you get to pick what you want on your export. Mm-hmm. So absolutely, you can export that list.
And so you have 60 cents right now.
Yeah.
So it'd be $1.06 each.
Stamps are?
Yes, so it'd be $1.06 each through the system. But then stamps are 60 cents if you want to.
Wow, that's crazy.
Do it yourself.
But
and print the letter.
But this includes postage.
Right. What I'm saying is, it's 60 cents plus your cost of paper.
Right.
Otherwise, if you
and if you print at home, that's expensive. So go to the office and print, right?
Yes. Right here in color.
Yeah. So isn't that a cool way to do that? So one of the things I want to encourage you guys to do is on your database, download your entire database from KV Core or whatever database you're using and upload them here. It's free and they grade them for you and they will show you, they'll give them a sales score, high, medium, or low. Would that not benefit you to be able to know of all your database, who's going to be selling and who's not? Who do you want to call today? Can you imagine going to your contact that you have here and have them, I don't have any contacts put in here, and seeing none of those people are, so that right now none of these people aren't in there. So it's not invited. I haven't done that, but you get the, So, I'm trying to see. But there's his email, and so they're not there. I haven't done that, but you turn on the sales score to all of your contacts, and it grades them for you, and it allows you to know in your database, and it's an upgraded thing every day. They look at it, and every day you come in and you log into Remine, and you'll see your sales score start to change, and it allows you to come in and know of your entire database, who's moving and who's not, who's thinking about moving. And people say, well, how does Remine know that? So what I learned about Remine when we bring this into HAR is how they do their algorithms and whatnot. They look at their search history. They look at their credit card bills. They look where they're shopping. They look what their web traffic is, what they're, are they searching for moving companies? Are they buying boxes at Home Depot? Are they buying moving tape? Are they searching Dallas-Fort Worth homes for sale? They have all this data that people don't think they're giving away, but I'll use my mother-in-law as a perfect example. She refuses to log into the My Chart at Methodist Hospital because she doesn't want to have her information on the net about her house, about her. But I told her, I said, Carol, it's already out there. Just by you logging in doesn't mean that it's not out there. So I did a Google search of her name, and all this information came up about her, and it freaked her out. She said, I've never logged into these places. How do they have information? Well, it's not about you logging in. It's about your search history. It's about what you do on Facebook, what you do on Instagram. It's about, if you're registered to vote, if you went to jury duty. They have all this data out there, and it was really crazy. So, I go back to how many of y'all have been just talking about something that you want to buy, and then it shows up on your Facebook post?
Yes.
Or YouTube.
Or have y'all ever seen that happen?
No, all the time.
It's crazy. I mean, Alexa's listening, Google's listening, Siri's listening. All these things are really listening, and I don't know how they do that. It seems so foreign to me to know that that these companies are doing that. I'm going to tell y'all a funny story. My birthday was this past October, and I wanted some Duluth Trading gift certificates. So I went to my wife's browser on her computer at home, and I searched Duluth Trading a couple of days in a row, and started doing that. And I didn't tell her what I wanted, but everywhere she went, she saw all these Duluth Trading ads, and she guess what I got for my birthday? I got a Duluth Trading gift card. So it works, guys. And there's a company out there that I recommend using too. It's called AdWorks. AdWorks, I believe. What's the name of it? No.
That's it, Danny. That ADWERX.
That's it. Let me see. I didn't think they were out of Lafayette, but they may be.
I have to say that they're good, but expensive.
Yeah, they are. But it works. Yeah, the ad works. That's it. That is the company. But this is a good way to, if you want to do some marketing behind this is where you upload your database, and everywhere your clients go, they will see your ad. This is one of the things that I used to, that Hobbs Herder used to use, something similar to this. back when social media stuff was just really getting started. And this is a great way to advertise to your customers without them knowing you're advertising to them. Just everywhere they go, they're going to see your picture. And this is a good way to do that. I like AdWorks. They are expensive, but it does work. I really like that. Yes. So that's information. So where and what else do y'all want to know about this? Save searches. I just like one of the things that I really, I'm going to show y'all something here that I use. Let's go, my office new listings. We have 56 new listings. Let's go find one here, brand new country homes and acreage. And I'm going to just grab this address here and go to Remine and go to search. Like if I want to write an offer on this house, how easy would it be for me to come here and get all this data? I can create a CMA if I wanted to here. There's all the information about the house, all the interior stuff. I love, okay, what I want to see the parcel. I get to see that. Well, that's a pretty big piece of property, right? Where else can you go to have a one-stop shop, to see all this stuff and see the flood risk, what's going on? You're getting all this information in a one-stop thing. So it is occupied, mailing address, they live there, Grimes County, there's a tax number, there's a legal description, all of that's there. It's year built, square footage, living area, bathrooms, so we know there's some discrepancies here. Call you back. It goes in and it has to have bathrooms, right? So we know that's not all correct, but look at the tax year, homestead senior, tax rate. Last year it was assessed, land value assessed, all this information's there. Now, taxes, look what they were paying. That's homesteads, they're not paying much taxes, are they? So what's going to happen to somebody that's young that buys his house, right? So you're going to have to talk about that. Market value, land improvement, all this is going up. That's where the value of the house is. Property history. Look at that. So 575, and Remine's valuing it that Redfin has it way up there at 573. But remember we talked about unicorns in the pricing strategies. That to me is a unicorn, and that makes me want to go look at this and look at different CMAs to Black Knights 243. Not a lot of data up there, maybe. Yeah, there's not a lot of data up there. I might go to yeah. So do y'all think that house is overpriced just by looking at the numbers?
Yes.
In the market that we're in?
Goodness.
That's tough for me when I see something that's, all the data, that there's only one company out there in Remine that's showing, that was Redfin, showing anything even close to that price. That's scary for me. And I'm looking at what this property is. Why is it so much? It's mostly the land, but that's I mean, look at what's being built next to it. There's some big houses going in next. So maybe it's more for the land than it is anything else. There's a nice lake back there not too far away. But man, that's a lot of money for that house, in my opinion. And that's where, you know, for me, Remine just really helps me come in and really understand, pardon me, what's going on. How can I use this program to help determine where I want to go and what's happening? And it's just a very interesting program to allow you to do this. And this is a really cool view too. You know, if you kind of go to an area that you're searching, and you can click on any property that you want to see that you're, you know, whether it be that property right there. This is all, you know, there's information about that house, and McMansion's right next to it. But look, where do you want to live, right? That's where is Bury, TC Jester, West 34, 43rd. I just want to, it's crazy when you start looking at what that's my old house. And this was a total remodel when I bought it, and it's been sold a couple times since. But it's right out. This is one of those houses over there too. That's in the flood district. That's right on the very edge, and people look at this, and you know, you see water back over here. That house has never flooded, luckily. But you know, there's just so many things you can start doing in here, and you want to start seeing what's going on. Where home equity, it allows you to start seeing patterns and different things. We talked about that this morning. If I want to look in this whole neighborhood, what's selling and what's not, you know, what the property values are. Wow, there's a great way to start seeing some higher end homes, right? You start what people are starting to do. Why is that house so much more expensive than? It's $1 million plus, but why? What happened there? They've come in and done something to that house and remodeled it, right? But there's so many different ways to come in. There's property value, home equity. This is, and if you want to see who owns mortgage age, this is always a good one here. Who's been in the house 10 to 15 years? Let's do 10 to 20 years. So if I'm marketing to this area, if I'm looking for people who've been in houses for 10 to 20 years, that allows you to go in and search that and apply those. And there's only 58 homes that people have been in there that long. So there's so many different ways that you can use. I can change this and do 5 to 7 years. You know, there's just so many different things to do that. And one of the things that I like to do too, when you're working with a mortgage professional, you can come in and let's say mortgage rates, if you're over 6%, look at all those houses that are over 6%. So all those houses there are over 6%. So if you want to go, why are you over 6%, Mr. or Mrs. Viking Street home? You know, what's going on there? Would you be willing to sell your house? 410,000. Numbers are all pretty consistent, but look at their equity here. They own 100% of the house. which is kind of cool. That's something else that you can see here. Property value, home equities. Where's the one I'm looking for? Building type, land use, mortgage rate, mortgage age, last sale, distress, cash buyers. So all of those houses right there have no mortgage on them. Isn't that kind of cool? And this is commercial land use. That's not what I want. There used to be one in here. I think they got in trouble and they had to take that off. It used to show all the Airbnbs. Property, home equity. That for me, that's a good last sale price. Kind of shows you what a neighborhood is doing when you're looking. You can come in and really determine, what prices are going. If you're buying this house here, or if you're buying this house here, the house right next to it sold for $619, and my house is worth $394. Maybe because of that might allow me to think about what's going on. But there's a way to come in and see if a house is Airbnb, and there's a pretty cool deal here too. If you're looking for that according to Air DNA, the property may generate revenue of $37,000 a year. So there's ways you can come in and play with that to really understand. If you're looking for investment purposes for somebody, what a house might generate. And I just absolutely love this program. And I use this probably more than I use Matrix when I'm searching for properties. Anything that y'all want to discuss? Pull this down here and read some comments. What's that link to, Adam? Library, archive, real estate, business. Oh, business templates. Gotcha. Okay, that's a good link.
Yeah, they have all sorts of different prospecting letters if you're going after, FSBOs or people who are about to, be in foreclosure.
Right.
And that's all part of the dues that we pay them. So I started.
That's cool. So you could go in and change those letters and make them any way that you wanted. That's cool. So stop sharing and change cameras. So, guys, this program called Remine, in my opinion, I've said this just a second ago, is one of the best programs out there to help you define what you do every day. And when you come in and start knowing what the data is and knowing what's going on, it really allows you to become the real estate expert for that particular area and that particular client. And the more data that you have about a particular property or a particular client, it allows you to become that real estate expert. And don't be afraid to be that expert. I'm choking. Y'all choked me up today. Is there anything that I could do differently with Remine that y'all aren't doing? You know, there's so many different tools within HAR that allow you to play with different you know, just being able to use Remine to find the data, to find the contact information, to find out who's on the do not call list, create those lists, make them grow, make them do the different things. And I can't help but think this makes your job so much easier from the way that, you know, I used to do stuff to having to go to the county records to download the PDFs and have someone take that PDF and put it into an Excel spreadsheet to upload it to my contact database manager and create postcards. And, you know, I remember spending tons of dollars and it would cost me well over $1 a postcard to do that and go generate those lists. So there's just different ways to use this program that really, I feel, can help you with your lead generation, help you with your prospect marketing, help you with your database marketing, helping you understand who's moving, who's not. That will grade them. I would encourage you all to download your database and upload it into Remine and let them grade the clients for you, and get engaged with your clients and seeing the data and start following that stuff. And you know, the 36 touch program, that it sounds like a lot of touches to a client, but you should be, you know, your fabulous 100, the top 100 people you ought to be talking to at least 30 to 40 times a year and touching them in different ways. And Remine allows you to do that several different ways. And I think that's a perfect way for you to meet or to exceed your goals. You know, it's really imperative that we do stuff. You know, I showed that chart this morning. Did y'all all see the bar graph chart that I put this morning? We're all on the call, John's call.
Yes.
So when you go in and look at what's happening in different markets, and we've cut over 50% of the total sales out, that's affecting everybody. It's affecting John. It's affecting me. It affects every brokerage in Texas, in the country. You know, for generating dollars, it affects you. You know, if you sold 10 properties last year, maybe now you only sell 5. That affects your livelihood. So I got to tell you, it's time to double down on your marketing and your advertising because other people aren't doing that. And this is just another great way, in my opinion, for you to be able to really find who those people are and go back in and pick the medium to high score houses and start marketing them off market. Go find those listings. And there's different ways we can still do that. We still have homewards available to you. You still have OfferPad still available to you. So there's several different ways to get offers and to make cash offers on new homes before they move. So there's still programs out there that are available. And I'm going to encourage you all to really put your nose to the grindstone for the next 6 to 8 weeks and don't listen to what the national media is. And, you know, it was funny. I was listening to the radio yesterday on the way home, and Sean Hannity was talking about the real estate market crashing all across the country. And I just wanted to send him a video about what Houston is doing because, you know, Houston's not crashing. I think my thing's about to turn off in about 2 minutes. Can y'all still hear me? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So It just gave me a 2-minute warning. So it's imperative for you guys who want to grow your real estate business, that want to do more. It's about marketing to those people. And you have to find a way to do that, either, dialing for dollars, knocking on doors, whatever it takes, whatever's in your forte of what you do strongly. It's texting people, calling people, emailing people. People ask me what I do for a living every day, and I get to talk to people like you. I want to show y'all something. This will, let's go here. I'm going to share my screen again. So this month, I've contacted 3,144 realtors. This year, I've contacted 15,072 agents.
Oh, wow.
It's imperative. If I slacked off this month a little bit, yeah, I mean, look right there, November the 18th, the last busy day, but there's days at 666 emails I sent out, 555, 534, but this, I keep track. I know what I do. And I know, and I can see what my statistics are. Guys, you got to know your numbers, what you're doing every year. You have to know what you're doing every month. This is, I've sent 27,000 emails to realtors. 19,000, almost 20 have been open or been delivered. Of that 19,000, 4,500 have opened my email, and almost 50% of them have clicked at least one link through my emails. Do you know what your clients are doing? Are you tracking what they're doing? I use a program called BombBomb. Have y'all heard of it? So BombBomb allows you to track all the stuff. Like this has been open 46 times. Linked to the new Trek contracts. I sent this, to all this different stuff. It tracks it forever. Who's opening my stuff. I get to see, my how-to, 2 plays. They've watched my video. I see all this stuff, and it's just data that I use, and BombBomb allows me to do that kind of stuff. And there's just so many different ways to keep track of what your clients are doing, how they're doing it. And you just have to really bear down right now and come in and focus on what's going on. 2 minutes is already coming on. So I don't know if it's still showing, but it is. I want to show y'all one more thing. This will, JLA, real estate. All right, so I want to share this again. I'm going to share my screen. So I've shown some of y'all this before. What I want you to understand is that real estate is a very simple process. It's just hard work. So This is something I used to go over with my team all the time to kind of show y'all. Y'all see the Excel spreadsheet?
Yeah.
And I'll share this with anybody that wants it. I made this because I'm just a numbers guru and I want to know. So let's just say average sales price is $350. I'm going to take this out, take these two numbers out. The conversion rate, the national NAR conversion rate on listings is 75%. So what does that mean? That means for every listing appointment that you go on, you're gonna take 75% of them. That's a good number, I think. So if you could just do one appointment a week, this will blow your mind, folks. If you did one listing appointment a week, that's 4 a month, right? And your list price, average sales price is $350. Look up here what your gross is. This is before split. This is after expenses though. If you went on 4 listing appointments a month, that's one a week, just the conversion rate itself would take care of itself. You'd make 208. Now, one thing that we know from NAR is for every listing that you take, you're going to get 2 more appointments from that, or 2 more transactions. So I took 3 transactions. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say, let's just say if I went on, that led to 5 more customers. And I'm going to say the conversion rate here is probably 50% right now. All right. So if I got 4 listings, that would lead to a total of 9 transactions. That's the money I'd make in a year. Gross, less $10,000 for the cap. Can y'all handle that? So guys, let the conversion rate handle itself. And what I mean by that, what I mean by that is you have to go on appointments to get the conversion rate, right? If you're not going on the appointments, you can't convert. If you don't have the lead, you can't go on the conversion chart to convert that. So generate the leads, use Remine, use whatever you want to use to generate those leads. But, you know, real estate's a contact sport, guys. This is not a career for the non-introverted. You can be an introvert and still do this job, but you have to come outside your comfort zone. There's a lot of introverts that do really well in real estate, but the person who really, do y'all know what the DISC profiles are? There's 2 different versions of the DISC profile. You have the one that who you actually are, and you have one you show yourself to be. You have to show yourself to be the extrovert in real estate. You have to push yourself outside that comfort zone so you can do the things that are positive and growing for real estate. You have to contact people. You know, I got to tell you, in real estate, you need to be contacting enough people to generate the leads that you need to get the appointments. You need to be doing at least 1 appointment a week. You got to set that appointment. Go on the appointments. Let the conversion rates work. Get those appointments. Go forth and do that, guys. It's not rocket science to do real estate. It's just hard work. And if you're willing to do that work, you'll be rewarded immensely. You know, it's crazy to think of all the money I've made in real estate because I'm not afraid to talk to anybody about anything. It is you know, I still say this. I could go underneath the bridge in downtown Houston, find a homeless person, get them cleaned up, and get them approved for welfare, for Section 8 housing, get them approved for all this stuff. Within 3 months, I could get paid from the federal government by putting them in a Section 8 house. So one thing that you have to understand about real estate is that everyone you come in contact with is a potential customer. And it's up to you guys to turn that customer into a client. And how do you do that? You got to talk real estate, right? It's a contact sport. How many people in a day can you talk to? you have to be willing to jump outside your comfort zone and be willing to do that. And I go back to my training all from Keller Williams. They had great training. I learned so much from them. They're still a great company, but there's not what I wanted anymore. But some of the training that I've learned from there is something called E to P, going from being your entrepreneurial level. All you can do is just right there. You hit that ceiling, you can't go any higher unless you do something on purpose to get past that level. You follow me? You have to do something on purpose past what you're doing. That's making one more call a day. If you're just making 10 calls a day, you're hitting that ceiling, you're bouncing off, you're hitting it, you're bouncing off. Maybe you need to make 12 a day. Maybe you need to make 15 a day. I don't know. That you have to jump outside your comfort zone to be able to do that. And when you go from entrepreneurial to purposeful, for doing something on purpose, is when your life explodes in abundance. And whether that be in your relationship with your spouse, your children, your God, whatever that might be, if you do something on purpose, it's going to become better. And just be willing to step outside your comfort zone when it comes to something that you truly desire and want. And John, so true about goals. And this is the perfect time to do that. And, you know, I've been doing coaching and mentoring for a very, very long time. And that's really all we've been doing here today is coaching and talking about something that can maybe help you. And there's different ways to make people do different things. And one of the things I like to sit down with at the first of every year, at the end of each year with people is to talk about their dreams. And, you know, I really think talking about dreams is the next step is talking about your goals, because can anybody tell me what the difference between a dream is and a goal? Anybody?
One is written down.
One is written down. That's the only difference between a dream and a goal. So I'm dreaming big. You know, and when I came to work with John and I, we talked for a couple of months before I joined. And, you know, I told John I didn't think he was thinking big enough. And because he wanted to grow, but I don't know how much he wanted to grow. I didn't know how fast he wanted to grow. And, you know, now he set some goals up to be at 5,000 agents in 5 years. That's a pretty abundant growth. And, you know, he's looking at opening up Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, Arkansas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Colorado, you know, all this next year. So that's abundance. That's abundance thinking. When you are willing to think in abundance and ask for that help and ask yourself for that help, give yourself permission to help yourself. Don't be afraid to help yourself, and you know, and don't be afraid to ask other people for help. Always be learning. Always be willing to be wrong. You know, my wife thinks I'm the most optimistic person in the world, and you know, I remember at the First Methodist Church here in Pearland, where I used to go in the Redwoods, was our Bible study group. We did Rick Warren's Purpose-Driven Life. We did like a 6 or 8 week study on that book, and they grade you on where you think you are. And I was most optimistic because I believe I can do anything until I can't, right? And so if I tell you something, it's because I believe that. But I may be wrong, but I'm not going to believe that I'm wrong until you show me I'm wrong or I'm proven that I'm wrong. So my claim to fame, and wife gets so mad at me all the time, is because I'm always right until I'm wrong. I never second guess myself, ever. Because if I second guess myself, that means I don't believe in what I'm doing, right? So believe in yourself, believe in what you can do, and set yourself up to be a winner. Just don't go for the small win, guys. Go for the big win. Go for the gusto. Go for everything that's out there. Grab what's yours to take. be willing to stretch yourself really thin in making those goals. When you take the time to expand your knowledge like we have today, and you take the time to learn different techniques, different ideas. Do y'all know who Chris Voss is, the FBI negotiator? He just wrote another book. Y'all should all read this book, The Full Fee Agent. It just came out, and he owns a company called the Black Swan Group. I'll download the list. Do me a favor, everybody send me just an email, and I'm going to send you back a 3-hour long podcast with Chris Voss and Jocko Willnick. Just take the time and listen to it. It's a YouTube video. It's a 3-hour thing. You can break it up. You can download the podcast and listen to it that way too. But it's about never compromise. It's about never meet in the middle. It's a great book. And Chris Voss, VOSS, is I just got this in the mail the other day, and I haven't read it yet, but I can't wait to read that. It's how to stack the odds in your favor as a real estate professional. Y'all want better odds?
Yes.
Yeah, take the deal. Guys, I could go on and do this all day long. This is my passion now, is helping, guiding, coaching, mentoring anybody that wants to listen. I've been blessed in my real estate career. I've been blessed in life. 4 beautiful boys, 7 grandkids. You know, it's been fun, and it's you know, I can say that all 4 of my kids graduated with 0 debt from college, because I set that up for winning, right? I bought houses for them in their names, and we sold them when they graduated and paid for college. We did that. You know, one of my sons, we bought a duplex in Bryan College Station area, made him the property manager of the property. I paid him a salary, which was tuition, and I rented out the other side of the building to pay for the whole side, for both sides. So he lived for free for 5 years, actually. He was a 5-year senior. And it made tax breaks for me for having a property manager, having property. So it is a great way to make a living for you and your family if you do all the right things. But I'm going to tell you guys, everybody in this room knows if you don't work hard at real estate, it can be energy sucking. It can be bank draining, because everything you do is $99, right? Everything. Your HAR dues are due, you know, that's $400, and that's not faint of heart. But where else can you go open a business for $400 a year? That's cheap. So guys, I just want to thank y'all for giving me the opportunity. Thank you for listening. And you know, I have a bunch of agents that call me on a daily, weekly basis. I don't care which office you're in, I'm available. If you just want to pick my brain, if you want something, please just reach out. I promise to answer and get back to you as quickly as I can. And, you know, the Bible says in Matthew 7, if you don't ask, you don't receive. So I promise you, I'm not going to call you and see if you need help. That's my promise. But if you call me, I'll help. All you do is ask, and I'll make that happen. Guys, good luck. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. May you and your families' wishes and dreams come true this year and next year. And just go out there and be who you want to be. Don't take chances of not being that person. Be all you can be, right? Who said that? That wasn't Nike. Be all you can be. Was that Adidas that said that?
The Army.
Huh?
The Army.
The Army. Be all you can be. There you go, guys. God bless. We'll see y'all later. Take care.